Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Daily Debate. My name is Ahmed Nader, and tonight we are going to focus on the higher education in Egypt, and more specifically on the Egyptian universities and how to be going up through the ranking for the international rankings regarding the Egyptian universities and the Egyptian faculties as well, especially in the new republic following the re-election of His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi for an upcoming 6 years. But we'll be starting straight away with the top stories for tonight, which come through the presidential activities of His Excellency President al-Sisi, who had received a phone call from South Sudan's President Salva Kiir on Thursday. During the telephone conversation, President Kiir congratulated President al-Sisi on winning the presidential elections. The South Sudanese president hailed the distinguished relations binding the two nations. He reiterated that Sudan was looking forward to continuing the path of joint cooperation with Egypt. For his part, President al-Sisi appreciated the good gesture of Kiir and affirmed that Egypt is keen on supporting South Sudan and expanding bilateral cooperation with it in various domains. Another top story comes from the activities of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, who had received on Thursday a phone call from President of Uzbekistan congratulating him on winning a new presidential term. The Uzbekistan president praised the development achieved in Egypt in various sectors since President al-Sisi took office. He also expressed his country's keenness on fostering joint cooperation in several domains and continuing coordination on the international issues of common concern. For his part, President al-Sisi thanked his Uzbek counterpart and asserted the desire to enhance the bilateral relations and expand mutual consultations over ongoing regional and international developments. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi also received on Thursday the UK Minister of Foreign Affairs, David Cameron. Presidential spokesman Ahmed Fahmy said that Cameron handed President al-Sisi a letter from British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, in which he congratulated the president on winning a new term. Cameron stressed his country's keenness to continue strengthening cooperation and coordination with Egypt in various domains. The meeting touched on ways to develop the bilateral relations and reviewed the existing efforts at the economic level and increasing joint investments and trade exchange in a way that achieves the interests of the two peoples. The meeting also dealt with the developments on the regional scenes, as the United Kingdom appreciated the Egyptian efforts in maintaining security and stability in the region, as well as the intensified Egyptian efforts on the political and the humanitarian tracks concerning the deteriorating conditions in the Gaza Strip. The two sides also stressed the rejection of the displacement of Palestinians and the importance of working to prevent the expansion of conflict to other parts in the region. President al-Sisi stressed the need for the international community to shoulder its responsibilities in implementing the resolutions of the UN Security Council and the UN General Assembly regarding the situation in the Gaza Strip. And finally, Foreign Minister Samah Shukri received the United Kingdom Secretary of State for Foreign Commonwealth and Development Affairs, David Cameron. The meeting at the Tahrir Palace witnessed discussions over boosting the Egyptian-British relations in all domains, in addition to other regional and international issues of mutual concern, including the situation in Gaza. During a joint press conference, Shukri expressed Egypt's keenness on delivering the humanitarian aid for the civilians in the Gaza Strip. The top diplomat further reiterated hopes of boosting bilateral cooperation in various domains. He highlighted the role of the international community and the Security Council in bearing the responsibilities towards facilitating aid passage to the Strip. The top diplomat added the humanitarian dimension of the Gaza people have to be taken into account as consultations to vote on a much-delayed resolution calling for a pause to the Israel war. For his part, Cameron said that the fruitful Egyptian-British relationship is of great importance and expressed keenness on delivering humanitarian aid to Gaza and reaching a comprehensive ceasefire. And we will be focusing in the first report of the daily debate for tonight, as I mentioned, on the future of higher education here in the country under the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi and the Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Dr. Ayman Ashur. Of course, in terms of getting a higher ranking, a better ranking for the Egyptian universities in the near future. All this and more in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
"37 Egyptian universities have secured a presence in the overall index of the 2023 Times Higher Education Impact Rankings, which categorizes world universities based on their impact towards achieving the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs. The 37 Egyptian universities were ranked out of a total of 1,591 universities from 112 countries and regions. Out of the 37 Egyptian universities, Aswan University came first locally and placed globally in the ranks of 101 to 200. Ain Shams University came second locally and in the 201 till 300 global ranks, while Cairo University and Mansoura University came third and fourth locally among the 301 till 400 global ranks. Concerning the specialized categories of the ranking, Zagazig University had the high score among the domestic universities in the SDGs goal of affordable and clean energy and occupied the 29th place globally. In the same category, Mansoura University came in 40th place and Egypt-Japan University of Science and Technology, E-JUST, and South Valley University were placed in the same 55th spot. Under the category of the clean water and sanitation SDG, Ain Shams University came in 33rd place among the world universities. Mansoura University placed in 76th rank worldwide under the Industry Innovation and Infrastructure goal of SDG. Aswan University came in the 64th and 57th places under the SDGs of Sustainable Cities and Communities and Partnerships for Goals, respectively. Built on decades of work by countries and the UN, the SDGs have 17 goals at their heart, which are an urgent call for action by all countries in a global partnership. According to the UN, SDGs website development must go hand in hand with strategies that improve health and education, reduce inequality, and spur economic growth, all while tackling climate change and working to preserve our oceans and forests.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate, and I am honored to be having with me in the studio for tonight Professor Dr. Mahmoud Azmi, the International Higher Education Consultant and the President of the Egyptian American Council. Dr. Mahmoud, thank you very much for being with us tonight on the Daily Debate.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Anytime.
It's a very important topic.
Yes, exactly, because you mentioned it is a very important topic for the civilians, for the parents, and for the state as well.
Absolutely.
Higher education in itself, how important is it for the Egyptian state, especially that we are reaching a new phase of the new republic following the re-election of President al-Sisi?
First of all, I would like, on behalf of the Egyptian American Council and all the Egyptian community in the United States, to congratulate Egypt that President Sisi has been re-elected.
Yes.
Because this is really a win for Egypt. And I would like to thank him also, as he initiated the idea of developing the education in Egypt, either higher education or pre-university. And that was in 2017, and they made 2019 is the year of education. By the way, this initiative everyone in the world knows it's a very brave one.
Yes.
Because touching educational system, it is not that easy. It's very, very hard. And President Sisi, when he did initiate that project, never meant to achieve or accomplish political status, because the result of his work will not show in a year or 2 or 5 years. It comes in a long time.
Yes.
Then he really sincerely doing it for the sake of Egypt, which I really appreciate and salute him for that. Would you mind if I can go back to whatever numbers I heard now? I don't know from which record they got this ranking. As far as I know, Ministry of Higher Education in Egypt recognize and always follow Shanghai ranking system.
Yes.
Shanghai ranking system doesn't have any Egyptian university in the top 500 since years, except Cairo University was year before last year was ranked 483. Last year went down to 580 something. This year went back again. But none of any of those universities which we heard now has any of this rank, unless it's a different rank, private rank or something.
Yes.
But the rank which the government here actually recognize, sorry, none of them achieved anything.
So what are the criteria, doctor, that are being taken into account when it comes to be going higher on this ranking, going lower on this ranking?
There are two.
Yes.
By major, and if we take it by majors, there are 55 majors. And USA top of 30 of the majors. China top of 20. United Kingdom top of 3 only. Denmark 1. And Netherlands, Holland 1.
Yes.
Then become 55, none for Egyptians, none for any Arab countries, even though we have some of the Arab universities, 4 of them in top of 500, which I'm very proud of them, of course.
Yes.
Okay? This one thing. The other thing, there is a ranking, which actually it has criteria. The first one, quality of education. How they measure it? They see the graduates. Where did they reach? How did they reach? If there is any of them Nobel Prize winner, any of them got a medal for his major or subject, and this takes 10%.
So it's more about what happens after graduation, not like we do here in Egypt. We focus on, we have to take the certificate, we have to graduate. It doesn't matter what happens
It's
afterwards.
both. Actually, I'm coming to you now.
Yes.
After graduation, and also quality of faculty, which is extremely important. You know, our problem in Egypt, in education, if you allow me, first problem is the teacher. Second problem is the teacher. Third problem is the teacher. And number 4 is the curriculum. We have to straighten out this stuff.
Yes.
We have to know, first of all, in order to develop a good educational system, we have to have the top is interested in developing educational system. Good one. A. B, we have to have a policy. We don't have a policy, educational policy, no.
Yes.
Every minister develop his own policy, which doesn't work this way. So we have to keep up with the world, with curriculum. Curriculum has to change. Most of the teachers who studied abroad and they came back studied in either master or doctorate.
Yes.
And they came back with subject they studied, and they would like to apply it here to the undergraduate, because it's his own subject. That's what he knows very well. You cannot teach a graduate subject to undergraduate people.
Yes.
A. B, we have to understand one thing. It's a combination. It's two-way street. It's not one-way street. Students and teachers. Student is interested in getting knowledge and information in order to earn a diploma, and teachers getting paid from the money student paid the tuition to give his knowledge to the students. Of course, it has to be delivered first class. As you go to any place to buy some goods, you don't take a bad goods. No, unless it's a first class, you're not going to buy
You
it.
take the best.
Exactly.
Yes.
Therefore, we have to know that it's a big responsibility for the teacher to know that he is an officer, has responsibility. He has to deliver the responsibility to the students.
This mentality of teachers, starting from the early years of education and going through to the higher education until the student is graduated even from faculty. How can we change the mentality of the teacher that it is a message, he has to teach something, he has to be mastering some field in order to be teaching about it. It's not just about taking money and getting more money from the student and giving them slides and books.
You are absolutely right. It has really to work as a combination, from top to the middle to the juniors.
Yes.
All of them, they have to work on each other to develop. Do you know that part of the evaluation of criteria of having universities ranked is what is the relation between the senior faculty members and the junior ones? We don't have a lot of philosophy which is supposed to be, you know, like, for example, I'm not criticizing, by the way, and anything I'm going to say, it doesn't apply to everyone.
Yes.
If you please, you know.
Yes.
And Egypt, I respect, and I'm a graduate from Egypt, undergraduate from Egypt, and this country, I owe a lot for Egypt. But because we love it, we have to be very frank and open, and we have to really tell them, you need this stuff. By the way, I don't blame them, because they don't know it. If they know it and they don't do it, then they are wrong. But they don't know it.
Yes.
Okay? Unfortunately, our people are closing themselves, not open to the world. For example, distance learning or online education. It used to be distance learning because now it's online. It was established in 1893. 1893. Today is 2023.
Yes.
Harvard, #1 university in the world, already introduced online courses to their program.
Yes.
Until today, our Minister of Higher Education, Supreme Council of Universities, doesn't recognize distance learning. If you, as a gentleman working as a big figure here in the TV,
Yes, thank you.
and you would like to continue your education from a university overseas, sorry, you have to drop up your job and go live there. Why? I cannot take it from here. We are not going to recognize it. If you do not stay in the country of the university, 75% of the hours taught in this program, your diploma is not recognized. And at the same time, they have something called open university. Excuse me? It's open university. how you develop open university and at the same time you don't recognize open education. This is a big problem.
Yes.
Then we have to face that we are behind. We are really behind. President Sisi made something very good. I hope he will hear us, because really I would like him to hear this very clear. He is making the Supreme Council of Education and Culture. If we are going to get members for the Supreme Council of Education and Culture from the academicians in Egypt,
Yes.
what did we do? What good about it? They don't know better than what they have. And if they know better and they didn't improve the education, they should leave the job. But because they don't know it, that's exactly what do they have. Then I request President Sisi to allow Egyptian immigrants who are really ready, like me and my group, all of us who are volunteer, would love to help. Especially, UNESCO said the best education, higher education,
Yes.
is in America. So we, as Egyptian Americans, work in the American universities and the American system, would love to support. Then I would highly appreciate if he does not close the entire group on the Egyptian academicians. You have to blend them
Yes.
with people from overseas, let them work together to develop the system. But if we are going to allow them to choose each other to develop the committee, Egypt never move 1 inch further. That's it. This is my opinion, and I hope I'm not being, I hope I'm optimistic.
Yes, definitely. Doctor, of course, you mentioned the steps taken during the tenure of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi ever since 2014 and up till now, and of course heading into a new period of re-election for President al-Sisi. Education and higher education was focusing on building a human being for the future. How far have we come in this field? Are we successful in it? Is it a good idea?
Okay, President Sisi thought of a very good idea. He said, I need a branch campus for universities to come here to provide foreign education that my students here, our kids, can learn good education.
Yes.
And he requested that any university to come here to be one of the top 50, which it was impossible. Then they discussed it with him, and they agreed to make it 500. Unfortunately, the first, not with Dr. Ayman, previous one,
Yes.
the first university they brought it to Egypt ranked 1,384.
Not from the top 500.
Not even 1,000. Cairo University far better than them. Then what improvement you are going to do? You just tell President Sisi, yes, I brought a foreign university. And I don't know why, first of all, President Sisi is a military gentleman.
Yes.
He's not supposed to know the education. He has a minister who's supposed to him, advisors, to tell him. We are not supposed, actually, to develop education in Egypt, you are not supposed to bring branch campus. Because branch campus will come as a campus and teach. Anytime they don't like it, they will leave. What Egypt gained from that branch campus, a few students graduated. But the best way, they should have told President Sisi to make affiliation between our universities and the foreign universities, top foreign universities, academic affiliation, in which the students will earn dual degree, 2 degrees, ours and them. The advantage of this initiative is that our local university, they have to improve themselves to keep up the same standard like the foreign university. Otherwise, the accreditation agency for the foreign university will not allow the foreign university to continue with us. Then we will gain that our universities went
It's a
up.
win-win situation.
Absolutely.
Yes, for us and for them.
Absolutely. A. B. Tuition. When the foreign university comes, their tuition is very high. But when they have an academic affiliation with you, the tuition is split. In fact, it can be 3 + 1.
Yes.
Then they charge only 1/4 of the tuition they charge there.
Yes.
And the 3/4 the Egyptian students the Egyptian university will charge. And this is another excellent, this never happened. Anyway, after that they brought another British university. It was a college and just came as a university, doesn't have a rank, doesn't have any rank. These things which I don't like it because it's a matter of fill the space. Yes, the president asked for branch campuses, let us fill the space.
So how can we be dealing with that, doctor? Because we need better education.
Yes.
And of course, like any other thing here in Egypt, we need good investors to be coming and seeing in this field. They are investing in the students. They are investing in the Egyptian potential for the future, for the markets for outside of Egypt and for inside Egypt as well. How can we be attracting the best universities to be coming and seeing? Is it about the standards?
The foreign universities, for example, they are not interested in coming here easy. There are a few situations like we follow whatever called credit hour system, the American credit hour system.
Yes.
There is a statistic came out, and they said, unfortunately, our people under development countries, specifically didn't want to say Egypt, but I know it came out of Egypt, this one.
Yes.
Only 5% of the academicians just aware of the credit hour system. 5%. And 1% of supporting staff also just aware of the credit hour system. Not even they know it, just aware, which big difference. So the American university which you follow credit hour system, how can they come here to work with someone who doesn't know the system? Then you cannot, I will not be safe and secure.
Yes.
In order to do it. You know, there is a say, I said it before, a bad doctor may kill a patient, but a bad teacher will destroy a nation. You see how important the teacher? Then it's extremely, extremely important that we work on everyone, We have to forget totally about the mentality of, I am a doctor. Thank you so much, you are getting money for being a doctor.
Yes.
Come on, you know, big deal. You are not, doctor doesn't do anything. You know, when my students, where I work in America, my students, they don't call me doctor. When they love me, they call me with my name. It doesn't mean downgrading me. No, but this is the relation. You have to have a relation with the students.
The mentality.
The mentality, you know?
From the doctor.
Anyway, I recommend one thing that President Sisi, because see, since a long time, since 1998, we are trying to approach Egypt with a lot of projects, a lot of things. But unfortunately, it doesn't go right to the president. They send it here and there. I recommend that President Sisi will have an office. Even I don't care about Ministry of Immigration. Office to receive any project the Egyptian American are willing to do freely for Egypt, for free.
Yes.
I'm not talking about coming to make money out of Egypt. Especially education. Especially education. And this office will follow up with the minister. But when we send something to the president, I made a project to improve the higher educational system. It never went to the president, I'm sure. His office sent it to the minister, bye-bye. But if the minister knows it's coming and there is an office going to follow up on the why, and we can say no, and they say yes, and we can debate, definitely Egypt will be improved. You have to allow those people who really made a lot out of Egypt. I owe a lot to Egypt, honestly. I owe Egypt a lot. A lot of people like me, they do these things.
Yes.
You know that the president of Columbia University, one of the top 5 universities in the world, is an Egyptian in America. Yeah, he just got appointed last July. We have a beautiful, beautiful people. Then why we are not going to make use of them? Why?
Because we need the system here. The same system that is applied out there, we have to implement it here with the same
Not
standards.
only that, we will be very honest, because first I'm not going to debate. I'm not going to lose money if I'm not saying so. I'm being very honest. This has to be this way. I will transfer the entire educational system in America, bring it here. A, B, when the American university knows that American graduates working there who are really running this or supporting these programs, they will come very easily, securely. They know, yes, we know everything that. It is, you see, I don't want to look that we are in a very dark tunnel. No,
But we need honesty,
there
as
is
you
a light.
mentioned.
I'm sorry?
But we need honesty with the problems that we
Honesty
have.
sometimes make it depressing, but I don't want to make anyone depressed. You know,
Yes.
I would like really to make everyone happy. However, we have to stop making propaganda. I am the best. I got like whatever I heard a few minutes ago.
Yes.
Everyone can go into the internet, forget about whatever I have printed, and see if whatever I said correct or whatever they said is correct. There is a lot of ranking agencies.
Yes.
But the only rank agents recognized by the government here is Shanghai. Let's go to Shanghai and see exactly. See if they have any of these names came on the list at all.
But Doctor, you mentioned a very important point, which is we need honesty and we need transparency. And
Yes.
luckily, we do have both with our President Assisi. He has a lot of transparency with the citizens, a lot of honesty with the citizens, that we have this problem and this is how to solve it. And we need to do this in order to be solving the problem. So you did recognize the problem. How can we solve it straight away?
To reach to President Sisi, to be open and transparent with him. I don't mind a beautiful debate
Yes.
with the Egyptian academicians and the Egyptian American academicians in the presence of President Sisi, in presence of him,
Yes.
and we can talk openly and we can discuss and let him judge, because President Sisi, he is having a big load over his shoulder.
Yes.
And this guy is great. Honestly, he is great.
Yes.
To do all this work from military background, honestly, he is great. And I cannot ask him more than that. But I can ask him, if you please, give us a chance to have you in the picture. I brought a project totally for free
Yes.
to set up the infrastructure for online education,
Yes.
and the support for free, material for free. What did they do with it? Full stop.
Yes, although, of course, we were going through the coronavirus pandemic and what happened afterwards. Doctor, allow me to be going to the second report of the daily debate for tonight, which focuses on the higher education, and it also focuses on the link between the development of higher education and the ranking of universities here in the country with the Sustainable Development Goals of the United Nations. So let's see the link in the upcoming report. Stay tuned.
Minister of Higher Education and Scientific Research, Ayman Ashur, stated that Egypt has 27 public universities, 27 private universities, 20 semi-private universities, 10 technology universities, and branches of 6 foreign universities, serving a total of 3.6 million students. Many Egyptian universities occupy advanced ranks globally in certain fields and in international publishing of academic research. According to a statement by Cairo University, President Mohammed Al-Khisht in April 2022, Cairo University made major progress in the QS World University Rankings in 2022, where the university became among the top 100 universities in 5 subjects. Listed disciplines from Cairo University also increased by 160% compared to 2017, with 31.7% increase in their order of the top 300 universities included in the QS ranking. Cairo University is the only Egyptian university that is present in the 5 broad subject areas of the QS ranking, which include 51 disciplines. It ranked 51 to 100 in civil and construction engineering, petroleum engineering and hospitality, and leisure management. In pharmacy and pharmacology, it ranked 81 globally and 51 to 70 in dentistry. Both disciplines of pharmacy and hospitality were included in the list for the first time, making it to the top 100 ranks. Meanwhile, in the subjects of arts and humanities, the university ranked 271. In technology, it ranked 134 and 178 in biology and medicine.
Welcome back. You're still watching the Daily Debate. Dr. Mahmoud, Azmi, of course, we spoke a lot about the universities, about the quality of education and higher education here in the country. But I would like to be spending the rest of the episode for the upcoming few minutes to be focusing on the students, on the potential of the Egyptian students, especially the innovative and the creative students, how to be focusing on the potential of the young students here in the country.
There are 2 things. First, the credit hour system allow smart students to graduate when they completed their programs. Unfortunately, in Egypt, no. I mean, if you are, because the credit hour system, once you complete the number of credits required for your bachelor program,
maybe in a year, maybe in 6 months.
No, normally it's 2.5 years to 3 years it can be done.
Instead of 4 and 5, maybe.
Okay?
Yes.
Unfortunately, till last year, or I mean this academic year, the Minister of Education said that if a student finish his credit before his students, his colleagues finish their credit, he has to wait for them at home till they graduate, then he graduates with them. You are killing the motivation of any students. In fact, you have to encourage them. Do you know that in America, one of the parents said that, went to the university, and they said that my son is very smart, doesn't need to go through high school diploma.
Yes.
They didn't say forget it. They told him, yes, please bring him in. They brought him to the university. They gave him 4 courses from 400 level. And they told him, if your son got C average, we'll let him continue.
Yes.
If not, he has to go back to high school. The student passed. But there was one problem. The student's age was 11 years old. Then they said, we will welcome the idea, but has to be at least 15 years old. What does it tell you? They are encouraging the motivations of the students. If we do this, not this one specifically, if we encourage students to study, and when you finish, you graduate, you get bonus, we'll send you overseas, all these things, definitely you get one thing. The other thing, it changed totally. It changed the idea of spoon-fed the information to the students.
Yes.
It must be critical thinking.
Yes.
You are developing people going to work in this country. They have to think. When he has a problem, doesn't open the book, said, okay, what did they say? Oh, no, I cannot do it because it's so. No, he has to think. He has to develop. Then you have to develop critical thinking and encouraging a student to graduate. Now, Minister of Higher Education said, okay, 3.5 years you can graduate. Why not to make it 3 years? What's wrong? What's wrong with 2.5 years? You are asking for credit hour. The student to complete this credit hour, finish. Let him graduate. There's no problem about that. So, this one thing. The other thing is we have to change the curriculum. Because does the curriculum we have help graduate to be in the field? Yes or no?
Yes.
I can tell you, no, it doesn't. Yes, it gives him a license to go to any company, say that I have a diploma.
Yes, a certificate.
Yes.
That's it.
Come do work.
He can do it.
They have to sit down and learn
He
how
doesn't
to work.
know how to do it.
But we have to change the curriculum. We have to start developing curriculum. We have to get what's wrong, to get something from people who had the experience and it was successful in their country. What's wrong about that? It doesn't make any wrong.
Yes, Dr. Mahmoud, of course, finally, in a couple of minutes.
Finally, we have a lot to talk about. You know?
I'm sorry, you only have a couple of minutes before the end of the episode.
My bad luck, bad luck.
No, it is my bad luck. You've mentioned the online learning and, of course, the distance learning, maybe from home. How can we be changing the mentality, not just about the universities, of any university here in Egypt, about treating the students, but from the students themselves, from the parents of the students, that he can be at home, but he can be learning as well at the same time?
Okay. By the way, this is really a situation affect both the students and the teachers.
Yes.
Statistics happen, they made it. It says that teachers in Europe and America, they are really facing problem with online. Why? They said they will replace us with computer. We will not have a job.
Yes.
And underdeveloping countries like ours, teachers are very upset. They said that, where is our image going to be? Because I get to the class, I'm a teacher, I pass you, I fail you. Teacher. But this is a problem. Those students who are not working and being financed from their parents, I don't see a reason why they have to go online. But because of our tough life now, students are working.
Yes.
Those are the one really will be very happy to have online, and at the same time, he will be encouraged to study. By the way, online students, it has been proven that online students better quality in earning the information than the traditional students.
Yes.
You know, if you have two children, every day you take one of them in your car to the school. The other tell you, no, I would like to go with my friends. One day you traveled, you went away. The one who used to go with you in the car will not know how to go to school.
Yes.
But the other one blindly will go. When you give someone to go looking for the information, scratch the stone to get the information, it will stick here. It will never go from his head. But for those who easy come, It's easy go.
Easy go, yes. Professor Dr. Mahmoud Azmi, the International Higher Education Consultant and the President of the Egyptian American Council. Thank you very much for being with us.
You are very welcome. I'm really glad that I'm here.
Me too.
And I hope that we can have more time.
Yes, hopefully. Yes, thank you
Thank
very
you so much
Doctor.
indeed. Thank you.
Anytime. And this brings us to the end of the Daily Debate for tonight. Thank you for watching and goodbye.